Okay. SCP-001, Object Class, Euclid-Keter, Special Containment Procedures. Because of the nature of SCP-001, no containment procedures are necessary. 24/7 monitoring of SCP-001 is to take place from a safe 10-plus kilometer distance from a predetermined location, Site 0. The location of Site 0 is known only to the current SCP administrator and a single overseer-level agent of Abrahamic faith, 05-14, assigned to monitor SCP-001 from Site 0. Said agent is authorized to take any action necessary should SCP-001 become active and is required to immediately alert the administrator and all other overseer-level agents should SCP-001 show any change in behavior, as this may constitute the beginning of a Patmos XK class end-of-the-world scenario. Should 001 become active in any way, personnel are required to immediately consult the Patmos series of emergency orders. Decoding algorithms for emergency order Patmos are to be maintained on site at Site 0 in the possession of the designated observer and are to be transmitted to SCP Foundation offices only in event of 001 becoming active. Foundation personnel with vital roles in one or more variants of emergency procedure Patmos are to be advised to take the following procedures or precautions: to maintain good relations with one or more organized Abrahamic faiths, to maintain on hand a supply of the following holy water: a rosary, crucifix, cross, prayer rug, or other symbol blessed by an Abrahamic cleric of bishop or equivalent higher rank. A copy of Abrahamic scriptures, Torah, Bible, Quran, and standard emergency supplies in mobile form, bug out bag. In case of a pre-millennial rapture scenario, all vital personnel are to designate a secondary operative of non-Abrahamic faith. Said secondary operative is to be informed of the location of the primary designates copy of emergency procedure Patmos and mimetic kill agent inoculant, and to be kept on ready status to take over the primary's duties as necessary. To maintain familiarity with all other SCPs of all impossible Patmos as XK class end of the world scenarios. I feel like that should have been like a sub note, but whatever. Description: 001 is a humanoid entity approximately 700 cubits in height, located in an undisclosed location near the intersection of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The following features are known about the entity: a number of luminous wing-like appendages emerging from the shoulders, back, temples, ankles, and wrists of the entity. Although an accurate count has never been established, most observers place the number of wings at anywhere from 2 through 108, with the mean number being 4. Okay, what does any of that mean? A weapon, possibly a sword or a knife. SCP-01-2, the weapon appears to emit flames at a temperature rivaling that of the sun, based on spectrographic analysis, although there appears to be no destructive effects from the intense heat on the surrounding area. Any entity that approaches within 1 kilometer of SCP-001 is immediately struck by the weapon and obliterated from existence. Any and all hostile actions taken toward SCP-001 have resulted in annihilation of the attacker, regardless of range. See Incident Report RE Indian Ocean Submarine Missile Experiment, December 26, 2004. 001 appears to be standing with its head bowed in a gesture supplicant, with 001-2 held in both hands, point down in front of it. Since originally recorded by the founder over data redacted years ago, 001 has not deviated from this stance. Human beings exposed to 001 report hearing a voice in their heads giving them a directive, which subject reports cannot be disobeyed. The most common directive is forget, which results in the subject walking away from 001 with no memory of having encountered it. Forget. On rare occasions, however, other directives have been given. The most famous of these is the one given to the founder: prepare. Prepare for what? Which he has claimed to form the impetus for founding Data Redact to catalog and contain any and all supernatural and or paranormal artifacts that represent a serious threat to current existence of humanity. This is the organization now known as the SCP Foundation. Observers have reported that 001 appears to be standing in front of a gate of immense proportions. Long-range photographs. Oh my God. Have occasionally detected what appears to be a pastoral grove within, containing numerous other entities of the same composition as 001, as well as several fruit trees of unknown composition. Of particular note are two fruit trees of immense proportion near what appears to be the center of the grove. One is noted appears to be an ordinary apple tree, although the other bears a fruit unknown on Earth, described as data expunged. It is a avowed belief of the founder that gate which 001 guards may be a gate to expunged, based on correlations with ancient Babylonian texts and the Dead Sea Scrolls, in which case one can deduce that the entity known as SCP-001 may be expunged. Addendum 001-A Experimentation RE SCP-001-2's Effective Kill Range 1. Experiment A. One Class D personnel instructed to approach SCP-001 as closely as possible on foot. Result: upon making visual contact with SCP-001, subject is ordered to leave. Subject immediately turns away from the entity and walks away. Despite repeated orders to continue the experiment, Class D personnel refuses to obey and is terminated. Upon termination of Class D personnel, all research staff are involved are immediately obliterated by that unknown force, presumably SCP-001-2. So you don't fuck with, with him, alright? Gotcha. 2. Experiment B. One remote operated research robot guided to approach SCP-001 from the ground. Result: upon approaching within 1 kilometer of SCP-001, research robot is obliterated, presumably by SCP-001-2. All further attempts at remote reconnaissance have the same result. 3. Experiment 3. 100 pre-programmed research drones instructed to approach SCP-001 from multiple angles simultaneously. Result: coordination is successful and all 100 drones cross the 1 kilometer mark simultaneously. However, all 100 are simultaneously obliterated by SCP-001-2. Designated observer at Site 0 reports that SCP-001-2 appeared to strike in all directions at once. SCP-001 did not deviate from its stance while this took place. 4. Experiment D. Wire-guided missile fired from a distance of 3 kilometers. Result: SCP-001-2 obliterates weapon upon crossing the 1 kilometer mark, simultaneously obliterating the launch site and killing all personnel. 5. Experiment E. Multi-warhead intercontinental ballistic missile fired from SCP nuclear submarine Nautilus. C. Result C. Indian Ocean submarine missile experiment, December 26, 2004. 6. Experiment F. SCP-076 and Task Force Omega-7 instructed to approach SCP-001 on foot. Results: SCP-076 refuses to carry out mission despite not being informed of mission's nature. Upon being asked why, SCP-076 replies, no. Just no. Alright, so who's 076? Isn't that like, what is this? Uh, oh, I want to read more of that. Alright. Which one did I do? Alright, here. Experiment G, SCP-073. Due to the results of Experiment F, SCP-073 was not informed of this designation until arriving at Site 0. Result: SCP-073 approached the site on foot. Upon seeing SCP-001, SCP-073 became distressed and asked to abort. SCP-076 was ordered to continue. At that point, total SCP-073's forehead data became data expunged. Experiment was terminated due to data expunged. See Addendum 001-AA. Addendum 001-AA. By executive order of the administrator, no further experiments are to be carried out, re SCP-001. No further SCPs are to be exposed to SCP-001. SCP-001 is not to be used to dispose of dangerous SCP. Please see revised containment procedures for details. Addendum on redacted. The following errant transmission was received by Foundation personnel. Initiate emergency procedure Patmos Omega. Attention, all Foundation personnel. The following message was received at approximately expunged the morning from Site 0. SCP-001 has left its location. The gate is open. They are riding forth. Oh God, it's so beautiful. The Lord reigneth. The Lord has reigned. The Lord shall reign forever. The Lord reigneth. The Lord has reigned. It just repeats. Here, here, oh, here, Hear, O Israel, the Lord God, the Lord is one. I'm not reading all that. Because of the event's confluence with the recent breach of SCP-995, the opening of SCP-616, and the activation of SCP-098, the Foundation is required to immediately begin preparations for an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. SCP-076 and SCP-073 are to be secured immediately. All personnel are to unlock and decode Emergency Order Patmos Omega and follow all orders within. Site 19 is to be secured, and all non-essential SCPs and personnel terminated and or destroyed. Repeat, because of this event's confluence with the recent breach, SCP-995, the opening of SCP-616, and the activation of SCP-098, the Foundation is required to immediately begin preparations for an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. Didn't I just read this? SCP-07673 be secured immediately. All personnel are to unlock it. Didn't I just read this? Why did I go back up? Our orders within Site 19 is to be secured, and all non-essential SCPs and personnel are terminated and or destroyed. Repeat, because of this event's confluence, this the opening of SCP-6 Center activation SCP-995, the Foundation is required to immediate. Yeah, whatever that says. XK class enters the world scenario SCP-06 is to be secured immediately. Cain enabled my two sons. I am coming. All personnel are to unlock and decode. Behold, I stand at the gate and knock, and if and yeah, and let's follow Alakaf and this one with heaven and aware than the fruit of whatever signal lost. Upon contacting Site 005-14, responded that no such message had been sent from this location and that SCP-001 remained inert. The transmission was initially determined to be a hoax. However, close examination of the transmission reveals a timestamp data, our dated data redacted years in the future. It is theorized that data expunged. All right. Maybe I should do more of these because they're kind of interesting. Because I want to know what this is. I want to know what these are. It sounds really interesting. This is a Euclid, so it's not deadly. It's to be secured 2 room 3. All right, SCP-995 is to be secured in a 2 by 3 meter terrarium placed in a 4 by 4 containment room. The terrarium is to be cleaned twice a week. During cleaning, SCP-995 should be placed in a substitute terrarium fit for its size. All personnel should be sterilized before and after coming into the containment cell. 995 is to be contained in multiple terrariums with each colony separated. Currently, there are 4 colonies. Each terrarium is to be made to fit the number and size of 995 in the colony. 995 has been moved to a larger containment room, which is 20 by 20 meters. Each terrarium is to be cleaned weekly. If any colony reaches the established population limit, randomly selected 995s are to be destroyed. Only level 2 personnel or higher are granted access to 995 with approval from any level 3 researcher that has been assigned to 995. Feeding of the specimens is to be done twice a week at approximate hours during any containment breached rooms be sterilized by incineration. Interesting. All right, description. 995 is an organism with traits that vary between those of fungi and those of animals. 995's life cycle starts with it being a spore. The spore stays dormant until it finds an area that has low light and is moist. Moist. However, an SCP-995 spore has more probability of activating under artificial structures such as household furniture, leather, vinyl, and polyester seem to be favored. There, the spore will grow into a soft organic mass which feeds off microorganisms in the air. It will continue to grow, sprouting appendages, enabling it to move. A mouth will soon form, along with teeth and a simple digestive tract. 995 in its mature stage feeds on larger organisms such as insects and rodents. A specimen will then start generating more instances of 995 via the reproduction of spores. 995 has been known to reach the size of data expunges in diameter. Infants have become prey, along with household pets. If a large population 995 has spawned in a small area, 995 will start to migrate, having the capabilities of infesting an average house by hundreds in a few days. The first of 995 was discovered in Redacted Furniture Shop in Redacted, Georgia, which closed down the previous month due to financial issues. A group of adolescents on are trespassed in the closed shop and discovered the partially consumed body of a homeless man who seemed to be taking shelter in the store. Police were called in and discovered a large colony of 995 in the store, and a foundation team was sent to investigate. The team administered Class A anesthetics to the police officers involved and shipped Colony 995 to site redacted. Addendum 995 has been relocated to a larger containment room since the location of three new colonies have been discovered and contained. A list has been configured to catalog the current colonies under diverse characteristics. List of colonies of 995. Colony 995A 33 redacted. Number of specimens 349. Description 995-A is the original colony of 995. 995A are grayish blue in color, ranging from 8 centimeters to 40 centimeters in diameter during mature age. Special characteristics 995-A move on four appendages with clawed feet and currently appear to have the fastest reproductive rate. 995B, 6 redacted, number of specimens 10. Description 995B are dark green and range from 30 centimeters to redacted centimeters in diameter. Why would that be redacted if you just put the first one there? During mature age. Special characteristics 995B are the most aggressive of the species and have an elongated snout with extremely sharp needle-like teeth, which are coated in an unknown paralyzing agent. 995C 10208, number of specimens 264. Description 995C are black in color and range from 5 centimeters to 20 centimeters in diameter at mature age. Special characteristics 995C are the smallest in size and are able to expel a highly acidic chemical from their four eyes. 995D 53011, number of specimens 23. 95D are dark red in color and range from 10 centimeters to redacted centimeters in diameter during mature age. Special characteristics SCP-995D are able to emit a variety of noises which vary from ringtones to human infant's cry. It is presumed that these sounds are made to lure prey in 995D's area where a group of them would attack. 995D seems to be the most advanced in behavior and intelligence. Ooh. Okay, 073 Euclid. Special containment procedures. 073 is to be kept in a two-room cell furnished with all non-organic furniture and items and a bathroom. Subject is allowed to freely wander the facility and eat in the main canteen. A tracking device has been attached to SCP-073's person and is not to be removed. Subject is disallowed any contact with the surface and is not allowed outside the facility. Subject is allowed no contact with plant-based SCPs under any circumstances. Violence is not to be used against SCP-073 under any circumstances. SCP-073 is currently kept in Site-17. 073 appears to be a heavily tanned male of Arabic or Middle Eastern descent in his early 30s, 6 foot 1 inches tall, and 165 pounds, with black hair and blue eyes. Arms, legs, spinal cord, and shoulder blades of the subject appear to have been replaced with artificial versions of unknown make and metal. Subject only takes notice of this when it is pointed out and states that it has no knowledge of how, why, or when these replacements took place, stating it had them as long as it could remember. There is a symbol engraved into the forehead of the subject, which appears to be of some Sumerian origin. Symbol as of yet untranslated, and subject appears distressed. When the symbol is mentioned at all, refuses to speak on it. Subject does not eat or drink on a regular basis, but is strictly carnivorous owing to its effect on plant-based items. 073, who refers to itself as Cain, is generally polite and genial to all who speak to it. Though it has been described as being cold and somewhat mechanical in its speech, it is very helpful and enjoys aiding personnel in their daily actions, whatever they may be. It has highly detailed knowledge of ancient to recent events in history and most commonly spoken languages in the world, including the ones that have since died out. Subjects have professed to having a photographic memory, remembering word for word all text in an 800-page dictionary that was flicked through in a minute and a half. It was scored above average in all intelligence tests given to it. 073's presence is inimical to any and all life grown in soil, causing death to any such life within a 20-meter radius. Any land 073 has walked on and any within the 20-meter radius becomes barren, as all anaerobic bacteria dies, rendering the soil incapable of supporting life until new bacteria are introduced. Anything that is derived from soil-grown life, such as wood and paper, immediately rots and disintegrates upon touch. 07, touch of 073. Further affected derivatives include anything hydroponically grown. Violence directed towards 073 reflects any damage inflicted on 073 directly back onto the attacker. Oh. Although 073 visibly remains unharmed, this applies to any damage directed at 073. Attempts to get tissue and blood samples have proven futile. When the procedure was initiated, personnel carrying out the action felt the sensation of whatever was applied to 073 and wound up with a sample of their own blood or tissue, despite the fact that all actions were directed solely at 073. Indirect damage through a medium also results in the person perpetrating the action receiving the wounds caused. Although 073 receives no actual harm from damage to its person, it has stated that it still feels the pain of the action and has politely asked researchers to abstain from overly harmful actions to its person. 073 was found in New York Police Department 19 redacted, having been taken in after a subject had been found amidst the bodies of several violent gang members. SCP-073 told police members that the gang had attempted to make sport of it, but became angry and attempted to kill 073, resulting in their own demise. 073 was incarcerated and was deemed as John Doe. When an OIPD could not find any information on it, SCP-073 came to the attention of the Foundation through a routine inspection of John Doe's and was subsequently released into our custody. Fuck. I gotta make this quick. 073-1. Examination of the unidentified metal on 073 has suggested that it is beryllium bronze, a metal that had been documented as being utilized by various anomalous cultures and entities. Most notably, beryllium bronze is a component found in SCP-1216, SCP-1427, SCP-2481, SCP-2711. In light of this discovery, the Foundation began work in an attempt to trace the origin of beryllium bronze and how it initially spread throughout the world. When prompted, SCP-073 was able to provide information that suggests that beryllium bronze originated in the Middle East, though the exact point of origin has yet to be determined. Further research into the origin of beryllium bronze is currently ongoing. Addendum 073-2. In light of 073's indestructible nature, photographic memory, and general will to please, High Command have deemed that all information is to be backed up on 073, ensuring it is not lost in the event of a catastrophe. While this action has met with mixed responses, 073 has agreed and sworn itself to secrecy on its part. Addendum 073-3. When information concerning 073 was brought to the attention of 073, or 076 was brought to the attention of 073 for backing up, subject showed familiarity with the information, although was disinclined to adding to it. Despite the fact that it stated that it already knew all about 076, it then stated it would be better for all parties involved that it not meet 076. So what is 076? Doctor whatever. Director Maria Jones, Record Keeping and Information Security Administration. Subject revision of 076 SCP file. I have to go on record as saying that I seriously object to the proposed revisions of the SCP-076 Special Containment Procedures file. I know that Red Act all important stuff already claims it's a security risk, but you and I both know it's up to top brass trying to keep sweep their biggest and most embarrassing mistake ever under the damn rug. Omega 7 happened, it existed. Those people died because you screwed up. And you can't change that, no matter how hard you try to hide it. For God's sakes, man, those people guarding him deserve to know exactly what he is and what he did, what we did, how we fucked up. So they'll know better. Redacted. 076 Object Class Keter. So this is a dangerous one. Special containment procedures. Containment Area 2B is to be located 200 meters below sea level, tunneled out of solid bedrock in a seismologically stable area. Sole access to the containment facility is to be through a vertical elevator shaft separated every 50 meters with a reinforced blast door, constructed of 20-centimeter thick material shielding. Elevator shaft shall be flooded with seawater but not in use. Containment area 225B is to be constructed with the following components. An outer security perimeter against outside threats staffed by security personnel trained in close quarters battle and counter intrusion tactics. An administrative and support area ASA consisting of support facilities and living quarters for on-site personnel. A primary containment zone consisting of a 7-meter cube encased in 1.5 meters of reinforced material. PCZ is to be designed to be flooded and drained as needed and should remain filled with seawater unless access to contents is required. A 150-meter killing corridor, which has to be the sole access to the PCZ from the ASA, including water, power, drainage, and ventilation lines. The walls and floor of the corridor are to be reinforced in a similar manner to the PCZ, with the addition of an electric deterrent system capable of delivering a 20,000 volt shock. A security station located at the entrance of the killing corridor is to be staffed with no fewer than 3 armed personnel on watch at any one point in time. Armament is to include, but not limit to, at least one redacted CIW system on a pintle mount with clear line of sight down the corridor, with a plexiglass screen to protect the operator from thrown weapons. In the event of a hull breach, all on-site staff are to proceed immediately to the closest security station for weapons and armor distribution. Staff will remain at alert condition 1 until 076-2 is confirmed neutralized. Should 90 minutes pass after declaration of full breach without a stand-down order being given by level 4 or higher personnel, final contingency measures will be activated, flooding the entire facility in seawater and sealing off the access shaft for a minimum of 24 hours before retrieval is attempted. This will, by necessity, result in deaths of all on-site staff. Description: 076 consists of 2 components, a stone cube and a humanoid entity contained within. The cube is a 3-meter cube made of black speckled metamorphic stone. All surfaces outside and within 076-1 are covered in deeply engraved patterns corresponding to no known civilizations. Radioisotope analysis indicates that the object is approximately 10,000 years old. A door is located on one side, sealed with a lock 0.5 meters in width, surrounded by 20 smaller locks in a circular pattern. As of yet, none of the keys have been found, making the door impossible to lock once closed. Interior temperature is approximately 95 Kelvin and cannot be altered by any means. Internal or external, directly in the center of the room is 2.13-meter tall stone coffin held in place and sealed shut by several chains of unknown make and substance, which are attached to the inner corners of the cube. SCP-076-2 resembles a lean Semitic human male in his late 20s. Hair is black and eyes are gray. Skin tone olive. Subject is 1.96 meters in height and 81.65 kilograms in weight. Numerous tattoos depicting arcane and occult iconography are present all over the body, mostly in the form of leering demonic faces, and ranges from subtle to open ostentatious subject when encased inside. SCP-076-1 is technically dead. However, occasionally, SCP-076-2 will awaken, effectively reanimating, complete with all vital processes needed to sustain a living human being. Subject will then attempt to leave SCP-076-1. If unsuccessful, subject will enter a trance state and seek out the nearest human being, ignoring all living things in the process. Upon coming into contact with living humans, SCP-076-2 will enter a rage state in which it attempts to engage and kill all human beings encountered. To date, only the subject's death has been shown to be effective in ending these rampages. Terminating SCP-076-2 is often problematic due to its significant physical abilities. Subject has superhuman strength and speed, and although not invulnerable, has shown a remarkable ability to ignore pain and shock, pressing on despite what would be debilitating wounds in normal humans. Prior encounters have shown that SCP-076-2 has the ability to, among other things, rip through a reinforced steel security door over the course of 4 minutes of sustained assault, clear over 64 meters of distance in under 3 seconds, take multiple 50 caliber BMG rounds to the head, and survive for several minutes to continue killing, despite severe damage to their cerebellum. Swat handgun and assault rifle caliber bullets out of the air with a length of steel rebar. Survive for over 1 hour deprived of oxygen before finally asphyxiating. SCP-076-2's most unusual ability, however, is its ability to apparently materialize bladed weapons out of nowhere. Slow motion video footage reveals that the blades in question are actually pulled from a miniature dimensional rift described as a small hole in space. Where this portal leads to is unknown, as is how SCP-076-2 is capable of generating said rifts. Footage of the blades in question shows them to be made of a completely non-reflective black material appearing as a black void in space. As the blades rapidly vanish after leaving the subject's possession, no structural analysis is possible at this time. SCP-076-2 has effectively been killed several times in various manners, sustained fire from multiple heavy caliber machine guns, asphyxiation, crushed beneath 13.6 metric ton piece of elevator equipment for use on SCP-076-1, cremation, through the use of a thermite TH3 grenade placed directly inside SCP-076-2's open chest cavity. During the worst breach to date, Containment Area 25, which previously housed SCP-076, was forced to detonate its on-site warhead as a last attempt to contain SCP-076-2 while it was attempting to escape, resulting in total destruction of the site and all on-site personnel. SCP-076-1 survived. Upon death, SCP-076-2's remains will putrefy rapidly until reduced to dust. SCP-076-1 and the coffin within will then slam shut with great force and the lock will rotate, sealing it shut. SCP-076-2 will then reform within the coffin, a process taking anywhere from 6 hours to 25 years. What posthumous analysis of this, whatever exists, shows that it has an internal system highly different from our own, documented and data expunged. Additional, SCP-076 was found in redacted Mongolia and 18 redacted by archaeologists from England. All members of the expedition were subsequently killed on the return voyage home. SCP-006 was recovered from the ship redacted by the Redacted Society, one of the organizations that later merged into the modern global occult coalition, and placed on display in their inner sanctum. SCP-076 remained in storage for redacted years until SCP-076-2 became active and escaped on redacted. The reason for SCP-076 activation is currently unknown, but it was at this point that the keys to the outer shell were lost. A massive manhunt lasting over 3 years and redacted took place until 076-2 was incapacitated by redacted, killing it and causing it to reform inside 076-1, by then retrieved and secured by agents at SCP Foundation. Subject was in custody for 3 more years under constant supervision and was terminated whenever it became active, although it occasionally was able to escape for short periods of time, often due to security breaches caused by attacks from other organizations. The Foundation's death toll due to this was data expunged. After the last incident, the current procedures regarding SCP-006 were implemented, although they were upgraded regularly with the increase in technological standards. Okay, so I read the oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. See ya.